All right, everybody. In this video, we're going to look at finding coterminal angles that are in radians. So if you've checked out the video where I talked about finding coterminal angles in degrees, again, coterminal angles are just two angles that share the same position, but they have different angle measures. So now we're looking at them within radians. So if we had this blue line, this blue angle that represented pi over 6, I could have this another angle that shared the same position, but it was one full loop around. So pi over 6 plus 2 pi, and that gives us, well, when we add fractions, we need common denominators. That gives me pi over 6 plus 12 pi over 6, giving us 13 pi over 6. Radians for coterminal angles, you can use a calculator, and that's an easy way to go about doing it. But if you don't have a calculator handy, then we just got to review a little bit of adding the fractions, and we'll get pretty quick about it. But anyway, the way that we find our coterminal angles in radians, we are going to add or subtract 2 pi. So let's jump into this first example. So looking at 3 pi over 4, we want to find a positive and a negative coterminal angle to 3 pi over 4. So I have 3 pi over 4, and we're going to add 2 pi. I always put 2 pi over 1 because I know I've got to change my denominators later. So then we have 3 pi over 4, and we're going to subtract. Now, when I add 2 pi, or I subtract, I need to have the common denominator. Well, my common denominator here is going to be 4. So let's multiply the top and bottom here by 4. It gives me 3 pi over 4 plus 8 pi over 4. And the reason I left this blank over here is because now I can actually utilize this fraction over here, and I can save myself a little bit of time in writing, right? So once I go ahead and add these across, 3 pi plus 8 pi gives me 11 pi over 4. And there's my positive coterminal angle for radians. Over here, we have 3 pi over 4 minus 8 pi over 4. So 3 minus 8 is going to give me negative 5 pi over 4. And there's my negative coterminal angle. So again, coterminal angles are two angles that share the same position, but have different angle measures. Let's do some more. So here, we want to find a positive and a negative coterminal angle to negative 3 pi over 5. So we're going to add 2 pi, and then we have negative 3 pi over 5 minus, and I'm going to go get my fraction, and I'll plug it in there in just a moment. I know I've got to get that common denominator, so I'm going to add or multiply the top and bottom, by 5. That gives me negative 3 pi over 5 plus, well, 2 times 5 gives me 10 pi over 5. So negative 3 pi plus 10 pi gives me 7 pi over 5. So there's my positive coterminal angle. And then I'm going to take this and plug it in up here, just for time's sake. We have 10 pi over 5. Well, negative 3 pi plus negative 10 pi, because change, gives me negative 13 pi over 5. And there's my negative coterminal angle. All right, hopefully this is getting pretty easy. Converting the fractions here, that seems to be one of the biggest missteps that I see. However, I hope you guys are starting to feel a little bit more comfortable with that. Let's do one more example. Here, they want us to find, again, positive and negative coterminal angle to 13 pi over 6. So I have 13 pi over 6 plus 2 pi. I have 13 pi over 6 minus. And again, we'll get that in just a second. Common denominator here is 6. Multiply top and bottom by 6. That gives me 13 pi over 6 plus 12 pi over 6. 13 pi plus 12 pi gives me 25 pi over 6. So there's my positive coterminal angle. And so now I'm going to subtract 25, I'm sorry, not 25 pi. We're going to subtract 12 pi over 6. So 13 pi minus 12 pi over 6 gives me pi over 6, but I'm not done because that is still a positive angle. So I need to subtract one more time, minus 12 pi over 6. So pi minus 6 minus 12 pi gives me a negative 11 pi over 6. And that is my negative coterminal angle. So guys, I hope this video helped you figure out how to add, subtract 2 pi to find positive and negative coterminal angles of, well, any radian angle. So thanks for checking the video out, and I'll see you all next time.